feedback from our mic?
No.
No.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure because we.
Hey, I'm Chris. This is Margie the Seven. We're Addy Family Adventures, and we have guests today. We have David, Melissa, and Jillian from Disabled Disney, and we have Rachel from Rachel Loves Disney. So you guys basically you go to Disneyland a lot, correct?
We do, yes.
Yes. And I think we were just wanting to figure out what the difference was between planning a trip to Disneyland compared to Walt Disney World. And Melissa, you're planning a trip to Disney World, is that correct?
We are actually for June right now.
Right. And Heaven is planning a trip to Disneyland later on this year.
It's not really planning. We took days off and said we're probably going to go to Disneyland.
That's all you need.
With Disneyland, that's pretty much it. You don't have to do all the stuff you have to do for Walt Disney World.
Right.
All right.
Well, yeah, see, that's what we don't understand, or, that's what we kind of want to know is, for us, and obviously you know this, doing the planning, what is it, Margie? We usually plan how far out in advance here, since Heaven's been working there, it hasn't been as far out as what it usually has been, but
I think
what is it?
The longest we've ever planned out is 9 months.
9 months?
Mm-hmm. And then trying to get those dining reservations, those are sometimes really hard. Even when we went with Heaven, we wanted certain things and just could not get it. It was just so upsetting, but we made do. I wanted, what is it called? Heaven Storybook
Dining. It's their new one.
And there was nothing. So we ended up, but we did have Trails Inn, which was amazing.
Yes. Trails Inn was awesome. But yeah, so I think one of the things we usually do is when we do the planning is we figure out what park we're going to be at what day. And then that's when we start looking at what restaurants we're going to be at. And then, of course, we have to make sure that our reservations for restaurants do not fall during the time of a fast pass. Is Disney not as...
That's not... You guys don't have to do any of that, right?
No. I mean, so Disneyland, you only really need a restaurant reservation if you want to get certain hard-to-get places.
Blue Bayou.
Blue Bayou, you can sometimes get walking.
Blue Bayou's like 50-50 on that. It depends on how busy they are that day.
Right, but like if you want to get like Napa Rose or
Steakhouse 55.
Yeah, some of the more they're more upscale places. They pretty much you have to have a reservation. And character dining, it's important if you want to do character dining to get a reservation because they go fast.
Especially if you have a large group.
But other than that, you can just walk in and get seated within like 15, 20 minutes everywhere.
There was actually one weekend where we were like, hey, we're all off. Let's see if we can find a cheap hotel in Southern California there near Anaheim, and we'll go to Disneyland tomorrow. And we did that, and the next night we were having dinner at the Blue Bayou. So
what? Can you tell me what is the Blue Bayou?
It's Inside Pirates.
It's
hey Mel,
the really nice restaurant that's actually inside Pirates of the Caribbean. So as you're going through Pirates of the Caribbean, if you look to the right, see those diners there? That's the Blue Bayou.
Nice. Wow. All right.
And
this is.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's really good. It's
right.
They do like the Cajun style type stuff like jambalaya and stuff like that. And they're really. It's a little more pricey. It's not super expensive, but it's not like one of the super cheap places. But yeah, like, and you might have to wait like 15 or 20 minutes, but if you don't have a reservation, but yeah, you don't really need to have one even for Blue Bayou anymore.
Wow.
And
hi Tiffany, thanks for coming in.
The ambiance of the restaurant is that of you're eating in the on the back lawn of a plantation.
Yeah, like in the south.
Oh,
You
wow.
can
Okay.
the wall that you're looking at back towards where you came in
Mm-hmm.
is made up to look like the back of a plantation.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So you're looking at like a mansion there, and you're just sitting there on like the back patio having dinner.
Wow.
And the boats from the Blue Bayou are just
Going by,
gently
floating by.
past you.
Wow.
So, go ahead, Margie.
Joke.
Have you guys ever been to Disney World, or will this be your first trip?
This will be our first trip to Walt Disney World. Any of us.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Because we live here in Arizona, we always go to Disneyland. It's closer. We just it's an 8-hour drive.
Right.
We just hop in the car and go.
Well,
And
not exactly. We pack first.
well, yeah. When we had annual passes, and we're like, hey, you want to go to Disneyland this weekend? Yeah, let's find a cheap hotel. Let's go. And we just pack a bag and
leave.
throw stuff in the car and go.
What do annual passes usually run for Disneyland?
So it's up to like $1,000 for the full one, right?
No, I believe it was higher than that.
1,100, something like that. I think it's up to like 1,100 for the full one.
Wow.
That doesn't have any blackout dates. It includes parking. It includes your discounts for dining and merchandise and all that stuff. And
No blackout dates? Wow.
They do have blackout dates, yes, because it's a mostly locals park.
Uh-huh.
And the Southern California people have like 3 or 4 pass options, and then there's like 2 for higher up people that are basically for people that don't live in the Southern California area, and they don't have blackout dates or have less blackout dates. And then, but the highest one, which I think it's 1,000 or 1,100, I'm not 100% certain right now. It includes parking, it includes Max Pass, it includes your discounts and all that stuff. And it has no blackout dates at all.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I have this thing where
Hey, thanks for coming in, DNG
I just
Explorers.
don't know if I want to visit Disneyland.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
I don't know why. I'm afraid I'm going to be disappointed.
Oh.
Because I think I'm just a little bit biased to Disney World. I don't know.
I also just don't understand because she could go for so cheap considering like I still get perks there too. Like you wouldn't even really be
Disneyland though has something there that not having been to Walt Disney World yet, I don't know if it's going to be missing this or not. But when you walk by the fire station and see the light and know that Walt lived there, Walt was there, Walt walked those very steps you're walking.
That's what Chris tells me. I just don't know.
And know. Okay,
you have to try it, Mom. Like,
yeah, it's $14.49 for the top annual pass.
Yeah, it's gone up.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
You walk by there, you see the light above the fire station. That was Walt's apartment. He lived there. He walked all over that park, and walking down Main Street, he walked down Main Street where you're walking at some point in time because of how much time he spent there. I do not get that feeling going into California Adventure that I get in Disneyland.
Oh wow!
It's completely different.
Hey, Darren.
I wish I didn't have that thought in the back of my head, but I do constantly.
I don't think you will, honestly. And it's so big, actually. It's like it's really huge, actually.
Yeah, we generally end up Julian and I generally end up walking about 6 miles per day in Disneyland.
It's actually a lot bigger than people think.
Right. Right.
It's the little one, relatively speaking, because of how much land it's actually on. But that does not mean it is small by any means.
Right. I was actually looking at a map.
Surprised when you get to Walt Disney World, though.
Right. I was actually looking at a map of Disneyland, and I was kind of noticing how the rides were separated in different parts than what it is at Disney World at Magic Kingdom.
Right.
Like, the Pirates of the Caribbean's there in New Orleans Square. You got Splash Mountains back in Critter Country, where, all this stuff is more closer in because Splash Mountain's in Frontierland, and then Pirates of the Caribbean's actually in Adventureland at Walt Disney World. So, but I noticed that, and then I thought that your Galaxy's Edge would have been over by Tomorrowland, but it's actually
on the other side of the park. Yeah, there's not room there.
There wasn't room for them to build it there.
Right.
Because of how the streets run and everything.
It's
on the other side of the park.
I agree. It is in a weird place. I mean, it's like sandwiched in between Critter Country, Frontierland, and
Adventureland
and Toontown.
Well, and because you get that entrance from Adventureland.
No. Sorry,
Frontierland, because Adventureland's up here.
Yeah.
Sorry, Frontierland. You get that one entrance. It is really weird, but they did a really good job with the transition because stuff is like.
Yeah, it's like you got the
old timey going into like a new modern type stuff in the transition, and
you're going underneath the train tracks when you go in there from that direction.
First time we walked in, he's just walking there like. We're walking through.
We're like in this big crowd of people, and we're trying to like look at everything and film stuff, and all these people are just like trying to like push around us and like shove.
Well, and the first time we were in Galaxy's Edge, it was actually kind of a funny story. We were walking up this hill, and there's a cast member at the top of the hill yelling at everybody to keep moving. And we get up to the top of the hill, and I just froze, and I figured out why they were yelling at everybody. That was when you got the first look of the Millennium Falcon.
Oh,
yeah. And it's like and it's right there in front of you, and it's like, wow.
We were there day to the public, so it was June 20-somethingth last year.
And he's just like, the Millennium Falcon.
I'm in my mobility scooter, so I'm like way down here, and he's like way up here. Just like, and the cast member's going like this, like, come on, and he just stopped, and I'm like, come on. He's like, no. He's like, no, not that.
You're not seeing this.
Because I'm way down here.
So all she can see is like the butts of the people in front of her.
You had the worst view ever.
Yeah, it's somewhere between like here and the butt, and that's what you're looking at.
That's my view. Either on the road or on the mobility scooter, doesn't matter. That's my view.
I was standing kind of next to him. I'm like, no, Mom, you gotta come here. You gotta come see this.
Yeah, it's kind of felt like when I got to see the Millennium Falcon for the first time in November, it was just, I was in awe. I was a little bit jealous Kristen haven't got to see it before I did.
It was
what happened was Heaven invited me down for cast member preview, so she could only take one of us. So I went down by myself and seen it, and then Margie and the rest of us came down in November and got to see it. So, but one thing I wanted to ask you about was Max Pass. I've heard you say this. What exactly is Max Pass?
So Max Pass is an optional service. It does have a fee. I believe they've raised it to $20 now, right before everything shut down. And it allows you to make fast passes from your phone. And it also allows you all of the photos that you get from a PhotoPass photographer or on-ride photos, so you can download them all. Before you had to pay. So traditionally in Disneyland, you would go get your fast passes from the little stands outside the rides. And then you would go, if you wanted the PhotoPass pictures, you would pay for each ride separately. It was like $17 or $18. And then you could go get like a CD of all your pictures that you took with the PhotoPass photographers at the end of your trip for like, I don't know, $80 or $90.
Or you could get each individual day.
Yeah, they had different little packages you could get, like if you just wanted a certain day or whatever. And it was so much money. But now with the Max Pass, you can you buy the Max Pass in the morning. all you have to do, and you just take your PhotoPass card that the photographer gives you, and you link it to your account. So it will automatically take whatever pictures you get with your card onto your phone, and then you can download them for free. And then you get your phone and you can start making your FastPass selections. You can get one at a time. As soon as you scan in your one, you can get another one. Or if it's like sometimes it's really busy, you can't get one for a couple of hours, it gives you a next time you can get one window. So say it's like 10 o'clock in the morning, it'll give you like 1 p.m. So if your FastPass is say like 2 because it's really busy and you couldn't get one sooner than that, at 1 you'll be able to make another one. And then as soon as you scan those or the next time it gives you, you can make another one. I think it's like a 2-hour window.
Yeah, that's
so you cannot get fast passes till you get in the park. Is that right, Melissa?
I can't hear you, Rachel. Turn the volume up. I can't hear Rachel.
It's not our volume. It's her
I
microphone.
can't hear you, Rachel.
She said you can't make fast passes till you get in the park there. Is that correct?
Right. So you have to scan your ticket in, which we do on our phones there. We don't have magic bands. Or annual passes that give you a card. So you either scan your card or your ticket or your phone, which we do with the phones.
And then they'll give us the actual ticket.
And then they will print you out a card. But I just put my tickets on the phone and scan the phone, and then they print you out a physical card.
Wow.
And then as soon as you're scanned in the park, you can start and have paid for Max Pass. And you can either pay for Max Pass before you go or when you get there. I normally wait till we get there because we don't always use it. When you can use it along with the DAS Pass if you're disabled. So if you're using DAS Pass, you can use them at the same time. But I'm always having a hard time trying to manage fast passes with how we have to get return times for the disability queues. So I normally either end up missing the fast pass or forgetting something. So, and the way we do the parks. So I tend to only buy it for one of us, normally me, and then just get the pictures. Because for $20 a day, as long as you get one on-ride picture, all the rest of your pictures that are free, essentially, because you've paid for it with that one picture.
Right. So you have to pay the $20 for each individual person for the Max Pass?
If you want to do it for the fast passes, for the attractions. What I normally do is just get it for me and get it for the photos.
Right. So Mom and Dad, she said the DAS Pass. I don't know if either of you have actually ever done that. So what she's talking about is the Disability Access Service, and it allows them to get return times to go back, and they don't have to wait in the queue the whole time.
Right.
Okay.
You can use them both together, and actually, I don't know if it does this at Walt Disney World, but at Disneyland, your return time for the DAS Pass shows up as a Fast Pass on your phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very helpful. Yes.
But I a lot of times end up getting confused and forgetting stuff. And the way we do the park, I tend to not use it in Disneyland, but we will use it in California Adventure. It's just kind of the way we end up doing the parks and how we spend our time and how we do stuff.
Hope that it will be helpful for you in Disney World. I've heard a lot of back and forth. I've heard some people say this is the best thing that I've ever had here. And then there are people that are like, this is completely worthless. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm just trying to help.
Right. So I don't actually get the DAS at Disneyland because I have a wheelchair. So if you're in Disneyland and you're in a wheelchair or a mobility scooter, they automatically send you through like the DAS Pass. So I stand in the regular queue lines at Disneyland because they're less than an hour. I can do that. I can handle less than an hour. But being in the wheelchair, they'll still give me a return time for the rides. They need to put me in through the exit or put you into the special line or whatever. We still get a return time for those. That's why I'll use the Max Pass in because I don't get the DAS Pass in California Adventure. The one line that gets tough for me is Radiator Springs Racers. I've learned how to manage that one, and we try to go when it's 45 minutes or less. But most of the rides in Disneyland, honestly, are like 45 minutes-ish.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
I'm worried about Walt Disney World because of how long the lines are.
Thankfully, a lot of the lines are wheelchair accessible.
Right. But I can't. I have a bladder condition where I can't be stuck in the line for longer than an hour at a time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can do an hour. After that,
that will be a tough one because they're long lines.
So I'm going to get the DAS pass for Walt Disney World. I don't normally do it for Disneyland because the lines are 45 minutes or so. I can handle that.
Or we're not physically standing in a line.
Right. Or we're given a return time because at Disneyland I'm given a return time because I either have a wheelchair or my mobility scooter, one or the other. Depends on what I'm using that for.
Yeah.
So
I gotta step out for just a second, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay. So one of the things the last time I was down at Walt Disney World, one of the things I seen for like disability access that I seen that really impressed me was the Skyliner. They actually had where they can take the car all the way over to the side and out of the line to allow access going that way.
Disney has learned this is what you have to do for disability access, and I'm telling you this, and I love it. Because
some of the ride vehicles that have like the wheelchair accessible vehicles, I think they're amazing. Like some of them are really neat.
Disney has learned that you take a vehicle, you take it out of the way, and you load people. And our Space Mountain at Disneyland is like that. We have a whole vehicle that comes up, moves over, gives us as much time as we need to load. Then they stop the cars, move us back into the lane of traffic, and go.
That's amazing.
No! It stops, moves us over, and then lets the other cars go.
Oh, that's so cool.
It is amazing what they have done with it. It is so amazing.
And that's kind of how he was saying with the Skyliner, and that's kind of what they do. It's like the rest of the Skyliner comes this way, and then it goes, and these keep going, and this one just stopped over here.
So they've learned that we need a disability accessible vehicle that we can, or if they make them all accessible, we need to be able to pull it off, load for the disabilities, and then be able to put it back in. And they're starting to build all the attractions that way.
Awesome.
Now if we can just get a chariot into Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion, because I have to have I can't do the moving walkway at all. They have to stop the ride for me.
And we do that a lot at Peter Pan. Our Peter Pan is on a moving walkway, and we have to stop it if anyone needs that kind of assistance. And
so I'm going to have that.
We don't mind doing that though.
I just feel really bad for other people that are like,
why is the ride stopped?
Right. Why is it stopped?
Did it just break down?
Oh, yeah. And like every group that comes back asks right after that.
Well,
but
why did the ride stop?
and then you got the weird people like us. Ooh, in-show exit.
One time.
Yeah. Well, technically we've had two.
I've had one.
You weren't on Space Mountain that one time when we had to exit?
No.
That was just us?
Yeah.
Oh.
You guys have evacuation stories?
Well, yeah, actually we do. So that was a trip with just me and you.
Right.
We went
While I was in basic.
No.
That wasn't that September trip that you guys went on when I was in basic training?
No, I'm pretty sure it was a different one because it wasn't.
I don't know. One time we went on Space Mountain, we get into the car.
Diverted to the left?
Yeah.
So we get into the car and they're putting us out, and then they put us forward, and then all of a sudden the track in front of us moved from going to the right up to go up to the left.
Which is where they work on the cars.
So it took us.
Oh no.
I was like, what the heck? And so a cast member comes up, they're like, sorry, we had some malfunction. We had to turn you. And I had to get out on a ladder. It was definitely interesting. They're like, well, we could have called the fire department. I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. I just need time. Like, give me a minute.
The funny part is that everybody else that was in the train with us was actually cast members who were off duty.
Right. They
wow, okay.
So it was like
they just like hopped out and
it was us and a bunch of cast members, and they're just because they were talking. we knew this because they were talking about all sorts of stuff that was going on.
Yeah.
Probably stuff that us mere mortals weren't supposed to hear.
Oh no.
It's like, oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah, they were. They just hopped out and went and did whatever they did. But yeah, they had to give me some time. And then Monsters Inc. It broke down. We were on it, and everyone got an in-show exit. But there was me and then like 2 cars behind us. I can't deal with trying to get down the steps because of how tight they are.
They were like, okay, can you go down steps that are about a foot wide?
My
and
knee
then,
won't
like,
turn
3
that
feet
way
high?
anymore. My knee doesn't have the cartilage to be able to turn it anymore.
We could, but she would have to stay in the car.
So we were there for what, 45 minutes or something?
We actually recorded it.
Part of it.
Yeah,
Part of it. We kept getting told to turn it off. But the cast member who was in the car behind us.
So yeah, they had a cast member come get in the car.
They were like, okay, well, if you guys are going to stay in here, then we have to have somebody watch you to make sure you guys.
And then they had to restart each car individually.
Oh wow!
Right.
And then get us up to the exit, and then offload us, and then they had to get the other people off, and as they were restarting each car individually, it was shut down for a while after that. But I think we were there for like 45 minutes or an hour.
I think it was more like an hour.
That. It was a while.
We almost missed our next fast pass.
We did. We almost which was Toy Story.
Wow.
We almost did. But they did give us the fast pass, although we were leaving for the night, so we were able to use it. They did extend it for us.
Yeah, they let us use it.
Because the park was getting ready to close. And so we went to customer service and they extended it for the next day for us.
Oh, I like when they can do that.
And we had our one fast pass and then the park was closing.
Although my favorite something that happened to us was security snuck us into Disneyland.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we're in line for Radiator Springs. Everything happens in California. It's always California. So we're sitting there in line, standing there in line.
I'm sitting on my mobility scooter.
And all of a sudden, we hear a couple people yelling at us, like right next to Melissa. And we're standing there in front of her playing.
Yeah, they were in front of me,
on the phone,
and these people are right behind me. One of them standing like right next to me, and they're like, they get in a fight.
They're screaming at each other.
Because one person was like trying to skip the line, and she kept having her kid like get up on the railing and like scoot forward a little bit. And then she's like, oh, I have to get my kid moved. And then they move up in the line and then have her kid get on the railing and scooch forward. Oh, I have to get my kid. And they got in a fight. And because I witnessed it, they took me back. And they went on Radiator Springs Racers. I was back there for, what, an hour and a half?
All the way up until the park was closed.
I know, it was a while. We got in line. There was, what, an hour and a half, 2 hours till park was closing, something like that?
Yeah.
And then, the park was closing. And that was our last day there. So the security guard went, hang on. And he literally snuck us into Disneyland. They did give us tickets, though, because with the return time for disability, I have to have a ticket. So he got us tickets for the rest of the 2 hours Disneyland was open and, like, essentially, like, here, put us in Disneyland.
That's true Disney magic right there.
Yeah. Something happens, I really do. I love Disney because honestly, like anytime I have accessibility problems, I go and talk to them, they fix it. Mm-hmm. If something happens, they really do try and take care of you as a guest.
And if something happens to where you end up in first aid, they end up calling you like a week later to make sure you're okay.
She hurt her finger. We had to take her to first aid to get a Band-Aid. They called us. The nurse called us. Like, it was a couple days later. Like, how is she doing? Is she okay? You know?
I had a scrape. Okay.
Because I couldn't find my first aid kit. I wasn't sure where it was.
But yeah, so give us an ice pack and a Band-Aid for it. So.
Wow.
I have a comparison question. So Disney World, of course, has tons and tons of hotels. How many hotels is at Disneyland?
Three Disney property hotels.
Wow.
But do you stay at any of those, or do you stay?
Oh, we have. We've stayed at two of them.
Okay.
We've stayed at Paradise Pier in the Disneyland Hotel. The Grand Californian is the last one we have to stay at. But no,
it's the expensive one out of the three.
Because it's the DVC club.
Oh,
Isn't that one? I mean, I guess you guys haven't been here. You might not know, but from what I've understood, the Grand Californian isn't actually similar to the Grand Floridian. It's more closer to like our Wilderness Lodge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like the same pricing as the Grand Floridian, but it looks more like Wilderness.
It looks more like
the decoration stuff. Yeah, it does. If you look at pictures, it looks almost exactly like it.
Okay, so how did you guys decide where you're going to stay when you go to Disney World? What was your
for Disney World?
Where are you going to stay?
So we're going to stay at Pop. We're doing a split stay. We're going to stay at Pop Century for the first half.
Good choice.
All-Star Music for the second part.
Awesome.
Okay.
Good.
I have to ask.
Right. So price is a huge thing for us. I'm disabled. I'm not working, so I don't. Contrary to what people think, I don't get a lot of money on disability. So price is a huge thing for us. So we were looking at the value resorts, and I did kind of want to stay between a couple different ones, just since we're going to be there for like a week to check it out. And someone told me to do a split stay. So
yeah, a lot of people do that.
Yeah,
it allows you the chance to look at multiple hotels.
Yeah. The Pop Century and the All-Star Resorts, they're basically about the same layout, really.
Very similar.
But yeah, I believe even probably the art of animation is actually, when it comes to like the way the buildings and everything are probably the exact same thing. Because actually the art of animation was actually supposed to be at one time the other part of Pop Century.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had the housing crisis back in 2008. Because we actually went there and seen the construction that had been halted back there. And you could see, when you go to Pop Century, they have, 50 through, what was it? To the 90s?
90s, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And then when you look back, they actually had, when we were there, they had from the zeros up to the 40s already up on the building, but they had halted construction. So, and what's really funny is, because they did that, they still had the art of animation, but they have this bridge, and the name of the bridge is Generation Gap Bridge. Now the name of the bridge does not make any sense, because it's not another part of Pop Century.
Right.
But yeah,
I do have another question.
So you got okay.
Sorry, I just had another question. When you were talking about the Max Pass, so from what I've heard, not all the rides have fast passes. Is that true?
No, and it's only the rides that have fast passes. So you're looking at the more popular rides. In Disneyland, Space Mountain, Indiana Jones.
Big Thunder.
It's actually pretty much everything in Tomorrowland.
Splash
if I recall correctly, because
Buzz Lightyear, I think.
Buzz Lightyear has it. So does Star Tours.
Mm-hmm. Star Tours has
what about
it.
Big Thunder Mountain?
Big Thunder Mountain.
They said that one.
Matterhorn.
Peter Pan.
Small World?
No, Pirates doesn't. Peter Pan does not.
No, Pirates doesn't.
Oh my
Haunted Mansion's on there.
Wow.
I don't think anything in Fantasyland has it.
No, nothing in Fantasyland.
Wow.
Matterhorn has
Well, right, Matterhorn. And it's a small world. It's a small world. That's fast.
Yeah, Creepy Doll right
but
there.
Hey, come on now.
That's called Small World. It's Creepy Doll right.
Oh, it kind of is.
Okay, so
You have somebody that agrees with you.
So you guys have stayed at the Disney resorts, all right? So Rachel, since you're coming from a farther distance than what they are, do you stay at a Disney resort or do you stay somewhere off?
I stay off property at my friend's house when we go to Disney.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh,
That's
so
way
you know
cheaper,
somebody
honey.
who lives down around there.
We could. No, we could if we wanted to, but I really don't want to stay with my relatives. I do have a ton of relatives that live down there I could stay with, honestly.
She really does.
They live too far away, though.
Well, no, it'd be okay. We normally do stay off property, actually. We normally stay a little ways away, so that way we can get food on the way and coming back. So we're not spending a ton of money on food while we're in the park. So we do normally stay a little bit further away, but I could stay with my relatives if I wanted to, but I really don't want to.
So do they offer the dining plan?
No, they do not have
They
a
don't have
dining
one.
plan at Disneyland.
Are you guys doing the dining plan at Disney World?
We are. I jumped on free dining in January, so we have free dining for our trip.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
awesome.
Now, is it just the quick service, or are you doing the table service?
It is, but I upgraded to a table service one because Okay, I know a lot of people don't like it, but my friend who's coming with us really wanted to be our guest dinner so we could meet Beast.
Yeah.
So
I know
We've
that
never, we've never
my
done Be Our
input
Guest.
doesn't really matter. They, like he just said, they've never done to be our guest. I have. I didn't get any of the French food that they have in there. I really just got macaroni and cheese and broccoli, but inside is beautiful.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And if you
Some
want
pictures of it.
that's the only way you can.
But yeah,
So-
we are doing Be Our Guest.
Are you gonna do lots of character
Our plan is
services
to do
or
some, but it depends on what happens with the opening and whether or not
Right.
it's going to be characters or not, and what they're doing. So we're going to have to play that by ear a little bit, I think. We do
Okay.
have a character breakfast at Trattoria something or other.
Yes. Oh, Trattoria Al Forno.
Bon voyage with
Oh,
and
with-
Rebecca. We do have that
yeah.
scheduled. I like
It's
how
so
excited
fun.
she got.
Clearly, he thinks it's a
Okay.
good choice.
So we're
It is.
honestly, I love character dining as an adult. I really do. I'm sorry, kids, whatever. I love doing it as an adult.
It's great. My roommates and I are in our mid-20s and we go all the time. So
At Disneyland, we normally do Minnie and Friends breakfast in the park at Plaza Inn. It's a buffet. It's not the greatest food. It's buffet food, but they have Mickey waffles,
which is a must do.
I love. And then the character, they have all these characters that come around to you, and like we get Captain Hook all the time when we're there. It's the only place you can meet Captain Hook is to go
what
to
is that one?
Yep.
Minnie and Friends breakfast in the park at Plaza Inn.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to do that in
right.
We've got
September
Mac,
next year.
Goofy's son.
Definitely.
Wow.
Right.
Big Bad Wolf.
Right? We've got
Or not the Big Bad Wolf.
What's it,
his-
the wolf from
Pinocchio.
Pinocchio.
We've gotten Pinocchio. We've gotten the fairy godmother. We've gotten, and there is no place to meet the fairy godmother at Disneyland except for that breakfast.
Right.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if
get
it's
to
still
meet
the
her
same.
out just walking around if you wanted
No,
to Disney
not at
World.
Right. But there at one time at the Royal, what is it called in the castle?
Cinderella's
Cinderella's
Royal
Royal
Table.
Table.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if they still do it, but before you got to meet the fairy godmother before you even went up for your reservation.
Now the fairy godmother, the stepsisters, and the mice meet just back behind the carousel.
Okay.
And you don't really ever know who it is. They're just kind of in and out.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so like
But-
there's certain characters at Disneyland. The only way you can meet them is by doing a character breakfast or a character meal.
All right.
Right.
It's
So how long are you going to be at Disney World?
we're gonna be there a week.
A week. Okay.
So we're going in on a Saturday night. We're leaving on a Saturday night. We're taking the red eye essentially. So we're gonna be there really early Sunday morning, and we're leaving on a Saturday. We're leaving the following Saturday,
Oh wow.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
and then we're gonna
So-
be back in September for a training I have for my travel agency.
I'll
Jill
be
and
at
I
work.
Jill and I are gonna be there for 5 days in September, and we're
Okay,
staying
awesome.
at Yacht Club.
Wow. Yeah. That's amazing.
And here's the really cool part. While she's doing boring stuff like her training, I'm gonna get to do whatever I want.
Hey, you don't know.
Definitely check out that pool.
I don't know. It's gonna be boring. Hopefully not boring, but
You're gonna be sitting there listening to people talking about stuff.
hey, part of the time I'm gonna be on
That's
a
true.
cruise ship.
I thought that was for Hedrick Leah for 6 months.
No, that was after. We're doing a tour of one of the Disney cruise ships.
Oh.
Wow. That's
Everyone's
awesome.
in port.
So,
and I haven't been on a
Rachel,
Disney cruise ship yet,
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. So obviously, do you usually fly down then?
We drive.
You drive? How long is that?
It's like a 12-hour drive or more.
12 hours. So it's basically like what we drive from where we're at down to Disney World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we drove to Disney World, it would be what, 2 days, 2.5 days, something like that.
Oh yeah. 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 Texas is a long state.
That's why we go. Yeah, that's why we go to Disneyland because we're closer.
Right.
Makes
Right.
sense.
Right.
And they do have fast passes at Disney California Adventure too, by the way.
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool.
Incredicoaster has them.
Yeah, like the bigger rides, Grizzly River Run, Soarin'.
Does the Fun Wheel have it?
Yes.
Okay.
Toy Story, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mission Breakout. Which we still haven't been on.
Well, we've been on Tower of Terror, but we haven't been on it with the new. Yeah, we haven't been on it with the new theming yet.
I believe Tower of Terror at Hollywood Studios is gonna really, because Tower of Terror at Hollywood Studios is the only Tower of Terror that was built that way. After that way, they changed it at every single park.
Yeah, from what I understand, it like has like a bunch of different combination and options or something on.
Well, what it is, you go down into the boiler room, right? And then you get on and it takes you up and it shows you all these scenes. And then when you get to the very top, you actually drive out, your car actually comes out and goes across the room and then goes into another elevator shaft, and that's where they drop you.
Wow. Yeah, the one at Disneyland.
And
it goes up, shows you the scenes, goes up a little more, shows you some more scenes, goes up a little more, and then you start dropping and going up and down like this.
Right.
And then it goes up to the top, takes your picture, and then drops you some more.
Right.
And then you go back.
There at Hollywood Studios, it is random. So every ride is different. You don't know how many times they're going to take you up and drop you. And
we've had times where we thought we were done and we weren't.
Yeah, Disneyland, I guess now that with Guardians of the Galaxy, they have five or six different combinations they do now. Depending upon the song, what the song is that's with it, I guess.
Okay, that's
cool.
cool.
Back and you hear the music start, those are people who have been on it enough to know which one's which. As soon as you hear that intro, you know exactly what ride you're going to be on.
Right.
Wow, that's...
Hey, Christina, thanks for coming in. Disney Nerd Herders, thanks for coming in.
Hi, Disney Nerd Herders.
So you they'll be having Avengers the Avengers campus there, won't they? Here pretty soon.
Yeah, it's supposed to be opening in June or July. I can't remember which one, but it's probably going to be pushed back. I've heard because of the delays with everything going on. We are really excited for Avengers campus. We did actually like Bugs Land, sort of. We liked it.
I thought it was cute.
Well, yeah, but you were little, and
what was it?
A Bugs Land.
It was a.
Okay.
It's where, so it's kind of like your Toy Story Land, where everything is, you're shrunk down to the size of a bug, so everything's supposed to be.
So
kind of, would it be kind of like what our?
Right.
Sorry.
It was based off of A Bug's Life.
Okay.
Right.
And then they had this show in there that was called "It's Tough to Be a Bug."
You guys still have it.
Yes, we still have It's Tough to Be a Bug. What you're talking about, though, I'm like kind of imagining Hollywood Studios used to have the Honey, I Shrunk the Audience playset.
Oh, maybe.
I mean, I guess it was MGM at the time, but and like the kids could just go and play, and it was like oversized stuff.
Well, there was several attractions that were more for like little kids. The Emotional Whirlwind was repurposed. It used to be Flicks Flyers.
Okay.
And the thing, and it kind of goes around like this. It's like a little balloon thing.
Same ride.
Yeah, they just repainted it and moved it.
Okay.
There was one that kind of went around like this with some little cars. There was, what else was there?
There was a little like mini roller coaster. It didn't go up very high, and I mean it was designed for the.
It was all designed for little
kids.
Choo Choo
Train. That's what it was called.
And then It's Tough to Be a Bug, which we actually would go into a Bug's Lane just for It's Tough to Be a Bug.
Okay.
Right. I always hated the part with the spiders because he would pick me up and hold me up, but the spiders would drop down.
I'd be like, "Oh, human shield."
That is not my favorite attraction by any means.
So,
it was horrible.
So you obviously know that A Bug's Life, there It's Tough to Be a Bug, in Animal Kingdom is actually located inside the Tree of Life. There.
Is it? That's cool. So
Yes,
I know
yes.
we're gonna do it because we missed it at Disneyland. It was sad it being gone, but Avengers Campus is really cool. We're really excited for that.
They replaced
Stark Industries walls are going to disappear.
Yeah, right now when you walk through, it just says Stark Industries.
Oh wow!
They replaced
It says a Stark
And
Industries.
you used to be able to cut through it to go to from
like this corner to.
And now you have to go like all the way around. And
oh wow! Rachel, what were you saying?
They replaced Bugs Land in Disneyland with Inside Out's Emotional Whirlwind.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. I know. I've actually seen the video where they were talking about how they changed that. They just what was it? They just repainted it and they actually made it look like what was it? The memory balls was part of it and everything like that on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just repainted it to be Inside Out and moved it to Pixar Pier. So,
right. Margie, I don't think we can hear you. No, I can hear you downstairs, but I can't hear you right now.
I could read your lips. Nope.
You want to back out and come back in? So, but yeah, so you say you can't make Fast Pass until you actually get into the park.
Right.
Where we can make 3 a day, 30 days in advance before we go.
And 60 if you're on property.
Yeah.
Right. And then your Max Pass, which allows you to make your Fast Passes on your phone, also includes the photos.
It does. So it would be like combining your Memory Maker and your Fast Pass Plus together, kind of.
Okay.
Right.
Because we don't have Memory Maker at Disneyland.
Right.
You can go in and buy the photos, or you can get Max Pass and get the photos downloaded on your phone.
Also, don't have Magic Bands.
All right, we don't have Magic Bands.
Right.
So
weird.
All you need for the, I mean, if you don't want to get the Max Pass, they still have the kiosk set up. They have the kiosks where one person can go up with the park tickets and like scan them, and then they'll spit out the paper tickets.
But you actually have to go up to each individual attraction to do that. Currently, I heard they were testing a kiosk where you could go up to it and get any Fast Pass
for anywhere in the park.
Okay, that's how we have it. So,
but I don't know. But I heard they were testing one in Disneyland, but I haven't really seen anything last time we were there. Which was.
Do you think they'll ever bring Magic Bands to Disneyland?
Not that I've ever seen, but
no, because you can't use them.
Yeah, there's nothing to use them with. They don't have any of the scanners or anything. So
because
I meant, do you think they'll ever set it up there at Disneyland? Do you think they'll ever set that up there?
I don't know.
Your Magic Band is used for like payments at restaurants. Sometimes it's used to get into your hotel room. It's used to enter the park. It's used to scan your Fast Passes.
Anything like that set up at Disneyland.
Yeah, everything's separate.
You can use the app on your phone for some things, but like you can use the app on your phone for getting into the park. But then they'll still give you a hard ticket. At least they used to. I don't know if they're going to now going forward. But you would scan your phone,
and then use your phone here for some of it.
Yeah, at Disneyland you have to use the app and scan your phone.
Dad and I actually just found out that if you don't have your Magic Band when you exit your hotel room, but you have your phone, you can use your phone to scan on the door at your hotel room here, and it acts as your Magic Band to let you in.
That's cool.
And of course, you have to like log into it and everything. But
I downloaded my Disney Experience, but I only had the Disneyland app. I had to download my Disney Experience because they're two different ones.
Yes.
So you can't use the same app for either or.
Right.
I wish you could. It would make things so much easier.
Yeah, but that helps you know which one's which. If you have both on your phone, you know exactly which one's which. Because
I wish that were true, but I can't tell you. It doesn't happen a lot, but it's happened a couple of times where people come up and they ask for help, and I'm like, this isn't the right park. This is not even the right park at all.
Wrong course. Wrong course.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in, Disney Nerd Herders. But there's I didn't realize there was that big of a difference between Disney World and Disneyland. I really just thought they were somewhat a lot similar, where like your California Adventure is kind of like Hollywood Studios. And
sort of. I mean, it is, but it's kind of got. But it's so much more, from what I understand. I'll be able to tell you hopefully in June. It's more laid back. You can just show up,
right,
and get pretty much and do whatever you want to do.
Right,
like we said, you can go. Hey, let's go to Disneyland today, and go and not have problems getting fast passes or anything like that. Where I'm sure there's not a single person who would go, oh, let's drive 8 hours to Disney World and like spend the next couple of days there and be able to get a positive experience because of the fact that it's like everything's already booked up.
The extent of our planning is how many days are we going, what hotel are we staying in, do we want to do character dining, if you want to do like a dessert party or one of the parade or show dinner things, you need a reservation for that if you want to do one of those. If we want to eat somewhere that's really popular, like Napa Rose, I mean, we will still make a reservation for Blue Bayou, but
it's not.
We have walked up and not had one and been in 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Carthay Circle is another one.
Yeah, Carthay Circle, you need it because that one's really
popular. I couldn't remember the name of it.
Lamplight Lounge can go either way. Sometimes a reservation is suggested, but we had a reservation the day we went. Somebody walked up that didn't have one. They were seated like 5 minutes after us. So honestly, it also depends on how busy they are. During your more popular times, Christmas, do a reservation. September, October for Halloween. Hello.
Waving at the new person. Say hi.
Hi, Gonzo.
You could probably do.
Hey, thanks for coming in, Gonzo.
Other than that, that's all you got to decide and just go.
So we are going in. We have, like I said, we just kind of took the days off and said we're probably going to go. We took days off in November because we've had a lot of people tell us that November is a good time to go because you can kind of see it's like you can still see that transition from Halloween into Christmas.
It depends on when you're going in November.
Right now we have like the second week of November off.
Okay, so that's the middle time where it might be normal or it might be Christmas.
Okay.
Because they normally take down Halloween really fast that first week of November. The second week, they're starting to put they normally transition really fast at Disneyland. I don't know how they do it at Walt Disney World.
Disney World, we don't even have a normal time. Like we are literally Halloween to Christmas overnight.
It's kind of like that, but they kind of do like take down some of the stuff and then all of a sudden it's all up. Like there is kind of a little transition time, but it's not.
The thing that makes me sad is when they close Haunted Mansion.
Oh, for the Christmas or is it a Halloween overlay?
Yeah, it's Jack Skellington.
Nightmare Before Christmas starts in September when they start Halloween. So we do Halloween starting sometime at the end of September. I know you guys started in August.
Yeah, it's a real sad time. By the time October 31st rolls around, I'm saying Halloween to these people, and I've been saying it since the second week of August.
Right? Ours doesn't start till the end of September. It's normally like the 20-somethingth of September. They shut the ride down. They shut Haunted Mansion down the beginning of September to do all the changeover stuff. And then it's that ride until January. Till January. So the first week of January, when they end Christmas, they shut it down for like all of January to undo and redo Haunted Mansion.
Okay.
So you can't go on regular Haunted Mansion from like September to till the end of January at Disney.
Wow. And you said it's Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yes.
Awesome.
Nightmare Before Christmas themed.
We have gone during Christmas, like one time.
Oh, wow.
Sure.
It was nice. We are going to try to go again, but we do try to go when it's a little less crowded and off season. But last year we went in March for Get Your Ears On.
That was fun.
Right.
We went in June for the opening of Galaxy's Edge, and we went in September for the opening of Oogie Boogie Bash.
That was fun.
Wow.
Well,
This year, we're spending all of our money to go to Walt Disney World. So that's why we want 3 trips to Disneyland and 1 trip to Walt Disney World. That's our choice.
My next trip is next September.
Oh wow!
Oh wow! So are you using any kind of like guidebooks or anything to help you plan out Walt Disney World, or
we have been watching some YouTube videos.
Right.
Some of the YouTubers that I never watched YouTube until we started doing Disabled Disney.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I had no idea who anybody was because I never watched YouTube.
Right.
They did.
Right.
Now we'd be sitting there talking about YouTube channels, and she's like,
So we started doing Disabled Disney, and there was a few YouTubers we started watching, and then I met a few like online through like Twitter or talking to them in chat or whatever, and so I started watching them. There's a few YouTubers that we started watching for Florida, some that do both.
Like the Tim Tracker.
No, I don't watch the Tim Tracker.
You've never watched the Tim Tracker? Wow.
No.
I've seen a couple of his.
Sorry, we met him at Oogie Boogie Bash. He seemed nice and all, but I never watched.
Oh wow.
Who do you watch then?
So we were watching Mr. Cheesy Pop, Max Glick. He does both.
Okay.
We were watching the Provost, but
Provost
they've only done Disney World now
once. The one time they only did one trip there. And then
DFB.
We've been watching a lot of. He's been watching a lot of Disney Food Blog, and then who's the other one?
Oh yes.
Oh, Disney Food Blog. Yes, yeah.
I love Disney Food Blog.
He watches the Diz Unplugged a lot.
Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah, they do a lot of podcasts where they rate like restaurants and everything like that.
But they do. They also film it while.
Oh yeah, Gonzo, that's awesome. I love Christmas too.
Yeah, he watches them. I still don't really watch a lot of people. I watch the people that I talk to give them watch hours and watch time and stuff. The people that I'm really friends with, like you guys, I watch your stuff. I watch the Philly crew. I watch like some of these other smaller YouTubers that are more like me.
Right.
And explain things the way I understand them. My problem with watching them all, and this is why I started Disabled Disney to begin with, he would be watching these guys going, well, that's not how we do Disney. Because I can't do it the same way you guys can, because I never see, like, they don't have someone who's disabled. I have to do it different.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
or they'll recommend you do something, and it's like, but
we can't
disabled
do it
Disney, or disabled people can't do that.
Like, for example, the last time either one of us went through the regular queue line for Star Tours, in where you can actually see the droids, you're in the starport and all of that.
I was a teenager.
Was in the 90s.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
It was when it was the original Star Tours the last time I was able to go through the line. Night, Gonzo.
Good night, Gonzo.
Night, Gonzo.
Because once you go through the part that winds through, and before you go into that part of the queue, they actually have everybody in a wheelchair veer off, go through this other door to go this back hallway to an elevator, and you take the elevator up, and then you're right next to the loading area.
Yep.
So
right.
I have to miss all that stuff. I can't do it. It sucks.
The one time I got to go through it, I got to be the rebel spy.
That's what I do like about some of the lines here, like the Haunted Mansion here. They still pull everyone off to the other. It's like they have like the separate area where they put them on, where they can stop the ride, but you still can go through like the stretch room and stuff. They don't keep you out of that experience.
That's how So that's why I love Haunted Mansion's queue, because being disabled, I get to still see all of it, except for
I don't know if your guys is after the stretch room bottlenecks real hard, but ours
it does. But we get taken,
you get to skip that.
A rope down alongside it, and then put it in the waiting area.
And
so
one time that guy tried to follow us.
So yeah, we get taken behind a roped area and down along the side, and it's where the carpet and there's carpet and flooring that's different. The tile flooring meet, and so you're kind of like this half the time.
It makes it kind of tricky.
All right.
Wheelchair through there.
Yeah.
And you do the stretching room in California is actually an elevator, right?
I have heard that.
Right.
It
Yes.
is. That's what it is.
It goes down, not up.
So
Right.
and then we ride it back up to get off. We get
Yeah.
to see it. That's how we get off the ride. We come back. We come all the way back to the beginning. They stop the ride. We get off. We get escorted back down. Wait till one of the elevators is empty. They pull us on a certain way so we can, and we get off last. They pull everybody in, and then we get off and exit the ride.
And they actually tell people, "Hey, we need you in this corner."
So that way they can get us off. But yeah, they have everybody come in, and then they pull us off.
Okay, wow.
Okay. So
It's definitely
what are
different.
yeah? So what are you guys' favorite rides?
Mine is Peter Pan will always be Peter Pan and will never be anything other than Peter Pan's flight.
That'll make heaven happy. Big Thunder, yeah.
That's a tough one. for me.
His changes.
It kind of depends on my mood. I mean, because
Haunted Mansion, Rachel.
I've got a bunch that I love the rides. I mean, I love Star Tours.
Oh yeah.
Love Smuggler's Run.
Once we get on Rise of the Resistance, that's going to be his new favorite.
Credit Coaster is my favorite roller coaster, and I grew up a short couple-hour drive away from Cedar Point.
Oh
So-
wow.
Oh,
Really?
okay.
That's pretty close to us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
he grew up in Ohio.
Yeah.
I grew up in
Oh,
Sunset.
We're
okay.
in Indiana, just along the state line. So
Yeah. So believe me when I say I've got some experience with roller coasters.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And Incredicoaster is my favorite roller coaster.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So
Yeah, his changes. So what did you say yours was, Rachel?
I said Haunted Mansion, but
Yeah, I heard you, Rachel.
my new
Okay.
favorite,
Yes.
and we should tell Chris about this. My new favorite, when I go in September, I want to try Mickey's Fun Wheel. Have you seen that, Chris?
What is it?
So
Mickey's Fun Wheel?
it's actually called
Oh,
Pixar
sure,
Pal Around now.
Okay.
Sorry, what's it called?
Pixar Pal Around.
Will you tell them about it?
yeah, it's a giant
Thank you.
giant Ferris wheel.
Ferris wheel. It's
That's
huge.
what I thought. Right. It's right there in front of the Incredicoaster, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes.
kind of. Yeah, it's right on the bay right there. They
And don't they do what is it? Is it Disney Color, or they do that right there in front of?
called Color. Yeah, it's on the bay right
Yeah.
there. So yeah, it's a big one. They have some cars that are stationary and they just go around, and then they have some cars that are swinging cars that swing back and forth. while
They've got
it goes around.
they've got an oval track that they look around.
They have a
Oh,
little
You're still
track.
going in the
So
circle.
it has the track, and then it has this track.
Oh, wow.
oh wow.
So
And
so they do slide and swing.
we've
and such.
only been on it once. I love Ferris wheels, but I got so dizzy on it. I don't know why. So we've only been on it once because I got dizzy, he got dizzy,
Yeah.
and she got dizzy.
Yeah.
So we got down to the
All right.
bottom after the first go around.
We're
and
like, let it
"Come on!"
We're like, no.
And they stuck a guy with us,
Yeah,
and
they
he starts to
stuck
get off,
someone-
and
they
it's like,
stuck
no,
someone
you
from
can
the
stay
single
on, dude.
line and with us, and
Yeah, and we're like,
Right.
no,
Yeah,
you can
you can
stay.
stay.
I got really dizzy for some reason, and I couldn't do it. I don't know if it's because the swinging cars like next to me going like this.
And to give you an idea of how big this wheel actually is, Disney actually had to lower
It's
the ground.
lowered in the ground.
They had to lower the ground
Wow.
underneath of it because of the fact that if not, it's too tall to where they would have had to put the FAA lights on the roof on the top.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And they
it's
didn't want to
tall.
ruin the look of it with the FAA lights all the way around.
Right.
They do that for a lot of things here, apparently.
Yeah.
When you get on, you're actually underground.
mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
All
wow.
right.
Just like with the Tower of Terror, they went, okay, we got to design this to be 3 feet
Yes,
shorter
right.
than the FAA requirement.
So if you grew up near where Cedar Point was, which is obviously I can't think of the name of it, then you would know about the actual how do I want to say it, theme park that's closest to us, which is Kings Island.
Yes.
Yeah, he used to go
Yes.
to Cedar Point and Kings Island
Yeah.
when he was a kid all the
Um,
time.
Okay.
Before the Incredicoaster, or actually,
Yeah.
before the Incredicoaster, or as it was originally California Screamin', my favorite
Right.
ride, one of my top 2 was actually the Vortex.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
it.
They just tore it down.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
Yeah.
That's sad.
There you go. Now
Yeah.
Is that better?
Hey, I don't.
We're both uncomfortable.
Can you guys hear me at all?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I don't mean to be rude, but my phone is going to die, so it was nice
Okay,
to meet
honey.
everyone.
Oh my god.
It drained my battery. I was at 79%.
Do you want to come up here?
Yeah, I'll be up there in just a moment.
Okay.
Aside from rides, what are some must-do things you guys would recommend?
Well, our the what's it called? The Abraham thing.
Oh, the Great Moments with
Great
Abraham.
Moments with Mr. Lincoln is different than your Hall of Presidents.
It's
just Abraham Lincoln. It's not a very popular show anymore because again, it's the same one it's been.
I mean, we like the Country Bears. So.
I mean, they don't have it. They took it out.
That's what I heard.
I'm so excited to be able to do that and People Mover in Walt Disney World because I haven't been able to do that since I was a teenager.
Okay, here's the thing with the People Mover. She has not stopped talking about it.
But it's really good. That's the thing.
I miss it so much at Disneyland. I'm telling you, like I haven't been to Country Bear Jamboree or on the People Mover since I was like 16. Okay.
I think we're going to miss out on the fact that it doesn't go through Star Tours.
Yeah, that's the stuff. But
it does go through Buzz.
Yeah.
On ours.
We heard that. It went through Star Tours.
On ours, it went through
Space Mountain, Star Tours, and
Innovations,
which
and
is
Buzz.
I don't remember.
It
was something else.
Whatever was there just before or was before Buzz,
right?
But like the rocket rods went through Buzz,
right? But I never
was the dumbest ride.
The rocket rods were stupid. I never went on them.
Oh wow!
That was by far the dumbest ride Disney ever invented.
Is that similar to our Astro Orbiter at all?
No, we have an Astro.
Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
The rocket rods were.
We don't like that.
That's what.
Imagine a jet type car trying to make a thrill ride on the People Mover track.
That's what they did.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what
Dad told me about this.
That's what actually destroyed it, wasn't it?
Yes.
Right. Yeah, that's what destroyed the track was the rocket rods.
Now imagine it has to slow down to make every turn because
so it can only go fast for like this far, and then it has to slow down so it can turn.
So you're like drag racing.
You would go like boom, and then stop.
And then just slowly make the turn, and then it would speed up and then slow down, and then speed up and then slow down. It wasn't a thrill ride. It was just you're a crash test.
It was so stupid.
Right.
Trying to think what else is like majorly different there. World of Color for sure, because you guys don't have anything like World of Color there, do you?
No.
I don't think so.
I do have a question for you for the fireworks. Now I don't know if it was something I was watching, but I noticed of course the projections up on the castle. I noticed I noticed because you have Fantasmic right there in the same park.
Right.
That do they actually spray the water and show the projections that they're actually showing on the castle at the same time?
No. So
Okay.
They're different. So what'll happen is like 9 o'clock the fireworks will go, 9:30 or 9:40 Fantasmic will go, 10 o'clock the fireworks will go, 10:40 Fantasmic will go.
Okay.
So it's staggered, but they do show the projections on the water. They will put the water up and do the projections on the water if you're sitting there waiting for Fantasmic. They also do the projections on It's a Small World and down Main Street and on the castle.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh wow. That's awesome.
Now I will say this. If you have any issues with loud noises, do not be in Galaxy's Edge when the fireworks are going off.
Because there's no music. You can hear them really well. Explosions right over you.
They're shooting them off from Toontown, which is right next door.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow!
So they're exploding directly above your head.
It's beautiful if you don't have a sound issue or anything like that. It's super gorgeous
because you're like right underneath of them, so they're right there. So you're seeing them expand.
And then you have like the Millennium Falcon and the spires like behind it. It's amazing to watch.
Oh wow!
But there's no music, and so you hear them just exploding, and But
there's no projections or anything. But
no, you don't get the projections. You just get the fireworks. So if you're like a fireworks purist, you just want to do the fireworks. Galaxy's Edge is an amazing place to go watch them.
Oh wow!
Right.
But it is really loud there.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, definitely World of Color is a must do, especially since you guys don't have anything like that. And then
the parades, maybe they have different parades. Like they had
just started Magic Happens.
Magic Happens.
Yeah, they just started Magic Happens. I'm so excited. I can't wait till we can go see Magic Happens. We weren't able to get there when it started. And that's going to be different because they don't do that at Walt Disney World. And then what else? What else is really a must-do? That's different.
Mr. Toad.
Oh yeah, we still have Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Right.
Yes.
Yep.
And Cinderella or Snow White's Scary Adventure.
Oh, do the castle walkthrough. You can walk through a castle. Do that.
You also have a dark ride that has never been in Walt Disney World, which is Pinocchio.
Oh yeah. Pinocchio's. Yeah. It's right next to Snow White's Scary Adventure, but that was down for refurbishment, so I don't know if that's going to be back up right away or not. I don't know when.
Right.
I don't know if it's going to be delayed.
We also have different character meet and greets. We can meet like Joy, and before the parks closed, like a week before, I think I saw on Facebook that you could meet the characters of Onward, which I thought was amazing.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So they do have the characters at certain times up until I think it's like 3 p.m. They do have like joy and anger and sadness in over by the emotional whirlwind. We have
the
Hollow
studio,
Tinkerbell, and all of them in Disneyland. I don't know if you guys have. I haven't seen anything like Pixie Hollow there.
We used to have something like that, but we don't anymore.
So yeah, we have Pixie Hollow. It's right there off of Main Street, really.
And character meet and greets don't require a fast pass of any kind. No. It's just you just line up. And
not all of ours require fast pass, just a few of them.
Well, some of them, ours don't have fast passes for the characters at all.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's not even an option.
Yeah. It's and like when you get there first thing in the morning, there's characters out all over the place.
So and yeah, to like the afternoon on Main Street, you can normally get character. You can get like Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, Daisy, Goofy, Chip and Dale sometimes, Cruella de Vil sometimes.
And occasionally it's Chip and Chip or Dale and Dale.
Yeah, sometimes they don't pay attention to the nose and make sure they have one with the white nose and one with the brown nose.
I don't think I've ever seen that problem at Disney World. They always have.
It's like,
we were supposed to.
Hey, Chip!
Wait a minute, your nose is wrong.
You both have wrong noses. You're both Chip.
There was one time we were in line to meet Chip and Dale, and Dad just like.
It's like, wait, it's Chip and Chip.
Wow.
You guys are both Chip, and they just both went.
Oh no! Definitely take time to go look in the firehouse and around there because Walt's apartment's directly above there. That's where Walt spent
Club 33.
And remember, he used to slide down that fire pole.
He did.
Because that went up to his
apartment. That goes up to his apartment. He used to come down.
Have you ever done the tour?
No, because it's not handicap accessible.
Okay.
I can't go up there, so we haven't done it. We've thought about doing it, and I have to skip that part because that part's not handicap accessible. But we haven't done it yet. We've talked about doing the railroad one they have now. So you used to be able to ride in the Lily Bell car. You can't anymore.
Unless you're part of the tour.
So yeah, they do a tour in the morning with the railroad where they do part of that is the Lily Bell car.
Which is only available if it's not raining because they do not bring the Lily Bell
out in the rain.
Okay.
And you can ride in front of the monorail in Disneyland if you ask.
You used to be able to do that in Disney World, but they stopped.
If you're nice.
They stopped after the collision.
Right. So ours, it depends on the cast member that's driving it. It does. You do have to ask and be nice. We had so when we were there, her first trip in 2010, she wanted to ride in the front, so we were going to try to ask. And then these people pushed past us and hit the button and jumped in.
We're like, okay.
So we were like, all right, well, do we want to? So we were standing there talking. Do we want to hop in, the back car? Or do we want to wait? Like, do we want to try to wait for it to come around again? We had dinner reservation to get to, and
a cast member.
The cast member pulled them out and said, "You know what? Do you guys want to ride in the front? You've been patiently waiting here." And I had foolishly decided that I could walk it because we were just walking in to go to dinner, get on and then walk back to Paradise Pier, and it wasn't that far. That I could foolishly do it and not have my wheelchair. So we were able to go up there and get up, and they had us come sit in front, and it was her first time. When she was
they were sitting there talking to the cast member, and I'm just staring out the window.
She's just like,
it is a cool perspective. It
Right.
does give a different perspective.
but if you can't get into the front, the back does give you the same perspective in reverse.
Okay.
We did get to ride in the front there at Walt Disney World before they stopped allowing you.
Right.
And was that when Heaven was?
Both the girls.
I have
Both-
no memory
okay.
of that.
So both the girls, but they actually gave you a card to the girls. Showing it was like a license
our
to
monorail
drive the
license.
monorail.
Oh, they don't do that here in Disneyland. We do still have the licenses for Autopia that you can do, but the machines are almost always broken down. So
Yeah, same.
I found mine.
You found yours?
Yes, from
the machines are almost always broken down, so you can't get the picture most of the time. You can just get the blank one.
Hey guys, I'm gonna get off. I have to go eat.
Okay,
Bye,
Rachel.
Rachel.
Thanks for coming
Bye,
on,
guys.
Rachel. Bye.
It's great to see you. Yeah, so they do the licenses. They do supposedly, and I haven't found this out yet for myself. Supposedly, there's a card you can get in Galaxy's Edge from the cast members if you ask about you have to ask the right ones, and it has to be something about the underground or something. I don't know. I've heard rumors. We haven't tested it out yet. That's my next trip to Disneyland. I'm gonna test that one out.
So my question for you guys, when you go to Disney World, are you going to be vlogging, or are you just going to wait till you come home and then tell us all about your trip?
We're gonna be live streaming.
Okay.
Okay.
On our channel, we are definitely going to be doing some of that. But we're probably going to be doing a lot of filming and pictures, and then come back and do vlogs. But we are going to be doing some live streaming. We want to so we're treating it like a working trip / a fun trip. So we are going to have some time where we're working and some time where we're having fun. Because if we don't do that, then this is all a job and it's not fun anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So every time we go, we make sure we carve out some time that it's just us and we can just have fun, and we're not trying to take pictures, trying to take video. But a lot of amazing things tends to happen during that time, and I wish I had it.
That's fair.
there are some things that has happened that it's. I wish we had video of it because it was just so funny or so.
Like the time we got pulled out of the line in Soarin'.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
I got a magic moment, and
Right.
at Soarin', it's the only one we've ever gotten. We were in line. We were starting to get in line for Soarin', and there was a cast member. He was leaving. I don't know if he was changing rotations or what he was doing, but he was leaving. He stops us and he goes, "The Queen." He goes, "Come with me." And we're like, "What's?" And he goes, "The Queen waits for no one." And he walks us down and puts us in the fast pass line. And the cast member's like, "The fast pass." And he's like, "It's a magic moment," and walked away. I was like, "Oh my gosh, like,
That's
thank you."
awesome.
That's my magic moment, like waiting to get the red card to hold.
You don't get those anymore.
Oh wow.
Disney
You
World,
guys probably do. That's the exciting part. I love
So-
those.
they still
Tiffany
haven't
Peacock.
done that. But
Tiffany
yeah, no,
Peacock.
we were getting in line, and he pulled us out and put us in the fast pass line and
Wow.
gave us a magic moment. Never had one before, haven't had one since.
So Tiffany Peacock asks, so how much money would you need for snacks and stuff, like a budget for Disney World?
Whoa,
That's
Ooh.
that's hard.
that's a hard one.
It all depends on what you want to do.
Right. That's
Yeah.
This is what I've done. I go onto the app and look at what prices are for stuff, because
Right.
you can pull up the menu for pretty much everything.
Well, like, I'm thinking snacks. Like, I'm thinking like the premium bars and
right.
and those are like $5.
Right. But if you have the dining plan, you
You
get
get
one
snacks.
snack a day. So, but that would be all that. As for how much, I mean, I guess it would just depend on like
how many snacks you eat.
How many snacks you're gonna have while you're there. I mean, I guess you go there, you know, if you've never been to Disney World or Disneyland, obviously one of the things you want to do is do a Dole Whip, you know, and, you know, there's all kinds of stuff. But
so we tend to budget for one meal and maybe a few snacks, and then we tend to share stuff between each other.
Mostly she and I'll share food.
Because he's not a big sweets person, and so when I get sweets, it'll be us sharing it, and he doesn't want it.
With the exception of one specific item that he gets.
Oh, yeah. Jack Cookie Num Num. You got to have a
yes. Yeah.
You have to find the coaster and get the Jack Cookie Num Num.
Even if you don't go on the ride, you still got to go by there and get the cookie.
They're like this big around. They're that thick.
Yeah, we got
the oven straight to you.
You can get them at Pixar Place in Hollywood Studios.
Right.
So it's actually where the entrance for Toy Story Mania used to be. And I got one and I was like, yeah, I can finish this by myself.
Oh,
no, I cannot.
But we need 2 people. I can't. I tried on the last trip. I couldn't do it.
Well, I got that, and I got like Frozone's like cherry Coke. I don't know. It's actually Coke with like cotton candy, cherry cotton candy on top. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to love this. And I was like, the 2 together are going to make me sick. Like, it's too much.
At the stand where you can get Jack Cookie Num Num in California, there's nothing. That's all it is. It's Jack Cookie Num Num and 2 other cookies. That's it.
Oh.
Right.
It's just cookies.
All right.
Oh, wow.
But if you walk around and go up the hill a little bit, there's an ice cream place there.
Called Adorable Snowman's. It's based on the Abominable Snowman from Monsters, Inc.
Snow cone.
And they have like vanilla, lemon flavored. They have a lemon flavored one because you know how he does the lemon flavored and
yeah,
right.
Yeah, they have a lemon flavored one. They have vanilla, so you can go and get ice cream up there if you want to. And they do like floats and things like that.
So you can get the ice cream, go down the hill, get the cookie, and put the ice cream on the cookie. And
We haven't done that yet, but that's our plan.
You've done this, haven't you?
No, they just said they had it. They plan to, though.
And then if you go into Bing Bong Sweet Stuff, which is just down around Incredicoaster, or down past Incredicoaster.
Down at the end of here.
Yeah, down past Toy Story is Bing Bong Sweet Stuff. They have slushies. They have this one, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like every slushy flavor and nerds. And it is amazing.
Yeah. And it's literally rainbow colored until it starts to melt all together, and then it turns into this like gray mush.
But it is amazing. I can't remember what the name of it is, but it has nerds in it, and then it has like almost every
something?
Right.
I don't know. It has like almost every flavor of the icy.
Oh wow.
I get one every time I go now.
I have 2 more questions. One's not super elaborate, but the other one's kind of elaborate. How many days would you guys say you need to spend there to get the full experience?
We normally do about 3. 3 to 4 is probably good.
At least 3. At least 3.
Yeah, we say at least 3. 3 to 4 is probably good. More than that, you start feeling like there's not a lot to do.
Okay.
We do try to do a down day, like if we're going to be there for a few days.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to run for like a weekend. If we're going to go for like a week for like a vacation, we'll do like a down day. We'll do like, you know, like, and we'll drive down, check in our hotel, not go into the park that day, kind of keep it low key. Then go into the park, and then maybe go to the park the next day, and then do like a down day, and then do like another day or 2, depending upon what we're doing. Maybe a beach day, like to run out to the beach and relax, or a day to go into LA doing something else.
Okay.
Plus, there's other parks right near
Knott's
there.
Berry Farm.
Knott's Berry Farm,
Right.
down the street. As a matter of fact, when we do a cheaper hotel,
A lot of times we're staying down by Knott's
we're
Berry.
actually like normally right down the street from Knott's Berry Farm. It's like we make a right out of the hotel's parking lot, go down to this ball, and it's like right there.
Yeah, Knott's
And
Berry
then
Farm is
left.
really close if you want to do like that. Universal's probably about half an hour, 45 minutes away if you wanted to check out Universal. We haven't done it. We always stay at Disneyland because I worry about disability. I hear horror stories about other places and disability access.
Right.
So anytime we're like, where do we want to go on vacation? It's always Disneyland because number one, I know what it is. Number two, they're really good about giving you access to stuff and not denying it.
Right.
And if I need to stay in my wheelchair, I can on a lot of the rides. But I can transfer, so I do. There are some that I'm starting to not be able to go on because of my physical problems are getting worse and they're just too hard on me.
Right.
Yeah, his coworkers have a joke. If he tells them that he's going on vacation, they're like, "Have fun at Disneyland!" They don't even know where he's going.
It's like when I put in for days off. You going to Disneyland again?
That's where we go.
This last time I was like, no. Where are you going? Disney World.
Yeah, we always have to tell people, no, it's not. It's completely different.
Do you have another question?
I actually have a worker who was like, why would you want to go all the way to Florida to go to Disneyland when Disneyland's right there in California? I'm like, number one, it's Disney World in Florida.
Right.
Number two, they're completely different.
Right.
Yeah.
Some things that are similar.
Right.
But
and we need to experience it.
Even the things that are similar have differences.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah, they both have Pirates of the Caribbean, but they're both different.
Right.
Ours
they're
is longer.
Yes, and has 2 drops in it.
Right.
I've heard mixed. Is there 1 drop or no drops in?
There's one.
We have 2 in ours.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Cool. You able to get underneath the railroad tracks.
Right. That's why the drops were there to begin with, is to go underneath the railroad tracks.
And that's also the reason for the stretching room in the Haunted Mansion. So that way you can go down to that hallway and go underneath the railroad
because
tracks.
It's underneath. It's underground.
The show on the other side of the railroad tracks.
Right.
Right.
Just like with Indiana Jones. That's why you go down that walkway down, and then it flattens out and then comes back up. You're going underneath the railroad tracks there too.
Here, the only ride that's on the other side of the railroad track is Space Mountain. Right. Everything else is within the railroad.
Well, they had to get creative with Disneyland because of space issues.
Yeah.
For sure. So a lot of things were created due to the space issues.
When they originally built the railroad, it went around the whole park.
It did initially. And then when they started expanding the park, they
ran out of room inside, but they had room outside. So they had to, like, for example, Indiana Jones actually being in the Eeyore parking lot, which they do have the sign for it still in there.
They do, and if you go in Indiana Jones and you ask the cast member, they'll shine the flashlight up so you can see it.
Yeah, they'll stop.
That's awesome.
And it's reflective, so once they get that light on it, it'll just like pop right off directly above the camera.
And there is in Indiana Jones in the skeleton room, there is a skeleton. I still have not seen it. I cannot get my head to turn around with my back issues. There is a skeleton wearing a Mickey ear hat in the skeleton.
Oh, cool.
Bones? Bone?
I don't remember, something like that.
I think it's Bones.
Yeah, they put a skeleton, a Mickey ear hat on a skeleton. I still can't. My back issues. I cannot turn.
It's
you have to like turn when you go past the skeleton room. You have to like turn. I can't do it. My back cramps up and I can't.
When you're starting to go around that corner, you have to like turn around and to be able to see it.
It's all the way in the back.
They have the hat backwards to where the embroidered part is facing you instead of facing.
I think the only thing that Disney World has that's like that is Expedition Everest. When you're going up the first hill, if you turn, you can see every park from that hill.
It's a hard turn, like it's that where you gotta.
Yeah, I can't because my back, my cramping kicks in, and it stops me from being able to physically move that way.
Right.
Oh
yeah, you can see the sails. There's sails actually, above Pirates.
Yeah, which there's only a couple of spots where you can see it in the park, which I had never heard about this until I saw a video actually about the Mark Twain, where somebody was like panning over it, and it's like you could see it from the Mark Twain, and I was like, huh, that's been there that whole time, and I didn't even know it was there. Right. But then, somebody had told me that, you can see him from this hill coming down from the exit of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. And I did spot him from there. But then we're standing there in line for the train to get on the
Which
train
is
in New Orleans
actually
Square?
the exit, because we have to go in through the exit
Because
with
it's a
the
ramp instead of
mobility
stairs?
scooter or
Okay.
my wheelchair. Yeah.
And I just happened to be standing there looking towards the mint julep bar, and and the bathroom, waiting for her to get out of the bathroom, and I'm like going, wait, you can clearly see the sails from here.
If you stand in the exit of the railroad at New Orleans Square and look over the mint julep bar,
in between the mint julep bar and the bathroom that's right there,
you can see the sails
that are on top of
Pirates.
the show building for the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right.
Okay, awesome.
There's only certain places you can see them though.
Now the Tower of Terror at Hollywood Studios, everybody wonders why it was painted that color. Well, when you're at Epcot at World Showcase and you look back through Morocco, that building's big enough you can actually see it, and they painted it so it would match the Moroccan background.
And it's still slightly off, but you can. Yeah. So we tried to look when we were in Morocco. I found that if you're standing over like by Mexico or just before entering Mexico and you look, you're kind of like, there it is. And it's pretty easy to spot.
But
yeah, we have a bunch of stuff that we need to do in Walt Disney World, but what do you guys recommend that we do in Walt Disney World since we've never been there?
Well, what do you think?
Everything.
She says everything.
That's what we're running into. Like, we're only going to be there a week. How do we fit this all into a week?
I mean,
so ideally, food and wine will be going on then.
Hope in June?
Yes, that should be the next one.
I thought that didn't start until August. That's going to be going on when we're there in September, but not in June. Although, unless they extend out Flower and Garden, since
there's usually only like a week and a half difference between the festivals.
Really?
There's not usually a long downtime.
And if that's the case,
we're going to be there the last week of June, the first week of July.
Definitely try something.
So it doesn't start until August. So
right, that's what
they might have had a bigger gap this time.
Okay. Okay.
We do have quite a few plans of things to do, but
our Fast Pass day is tomorrow, so I'm getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Perfect.
Because of the time difference, I have to get up at 4 to make my Fast Pass.
It's very important to do.
What other question did you have, Evan?
My only other question was, I know you guys talked a little bit about the Plaza and the Blue Bayou, but what other restaurants do you guys recommend eating at?
White Lounge in DCA. They have some the food is more like bar type style stuff, but it's really good actually.
And it's really pretty too.
Yeah, they do a really good job with all of that.
And they have a secret room.
They do.
Ooh.
But apparently it's not open hardly ever at all. And it's only open for certain party sizes and certain things. Like we asked about it and they were like, no, it's not. And it actually wasn't even going to be open that day at all, they said. So.
They were like, you've almost got to know somebody in order to be able to.
Right. They said it's really hard to get into. Where else do we go? Oh, so in New Orleans Square, we go to.
I was trying to find the name of it.
French Market a lot. They have like soups and sandwiches and stuff. We also go to
beignets from.
The beignets are from the Mint Julep. You want to get the Mickey beignets, the Mint Julep stand.
Okay.
The Mint Julep bar in New Orleans Square. And then in DCA, Pacific Wharf, we go to Pacific Wharf Cafe. They have soups and sandwiches, but we love the soups and sandwiches. We'll get a soup bowl and a sandwich and split it between the three of us.
At Pacific, there is a secret menu item.
You can get mac and cheese.
You can get mac and cheese in one of the bowls.
They have the kids.
Perfect.
You can get the kids mac and cheese. They'll put it in a bread bowl.
So, and a little tip on the bridge that goes into the wharf there. It actually simulates
if you stand on it and wait, it simulates a 4.5 earthquake.
Oh.
Yeah, it'll
wow.
You have to stand there for a minute and wait.
And you like, wait a minute, is that
nowhere to write?
Because the people, but no, it's simulating a 4.5 earthquake.
Yeah, there was one time we were standing on it waiting for it, and this couple was walking past us, and the lady turns to look at her, the guy she was with, and she's like, "What are they doing?"
Thanks for coming in, DVC Life, and It's a Trap. So, yeah. So basically, we come to end. Do you guys got anything coming up for your channel?
No, we really don't. Just hopefully we'll be going to Walt Disney World in June and be doing a bunch of lives. We have just been putting up some random type videos right now because I don't really know what else to do. I had this whole plan of stuff and we were going to film it all, and then everything went crazy.
Oh, wow.
And so we haven't been able to do any of that stuff I had this whole plan of doing. I told you. Hey, Rachel.
Rachel's in the chat.
Yeah, basically we were going to do a bunch of travel stuff around Arizona.
To do like an Arizona vlog, and then all this stuff happened, and I got like one in, so that one's up, but everything fell apart, in the world. So we're going to be just right now. I think next week the one I have going up is just a random.
Rachel's got a premiere tonight
at
8.
1. You have a premiere tonight at 8?
Oh.
Okay.
Have you ever gone and visit Tombstone, being there from Arizona?
Yes. That was one of our plans, to go down and film it and do a vlog.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, she hasn't been there, but we both have been.
Matter of fact, almost hit a deer driving through there one time.
Oh, wow.
In downtown Tombstone. It just it was running across, so I was slowed down.
If you guys are going to be there when we're there, we're going to be there June 28th through July 4th. So we need to get together, DVC Life, so we can do some code.
When you guys are there, please come through the Fantasyland area and look for me. I'll be.
So you're in Fantasyland?
Yes.
Yes, somewhere between Peter Pan, Small World, all the way to the teacups.
Okay, so you do attractions. All right, we'll come find you, Heaven. I promise.
And we'll come say hi.
That would be awesome.
I think you probably pretty much ask any cast member there for Heaven.
The mine train is the only ride in that area that, I don't work some of those rides. Hopefully I will by then, fingers crossed. But the mine train is the only one that I won't have the chance of working at. So it's okay. I'm not sad about that.
It's my favorite ride though, so I have to go on it there and see what's different. I do. So DVC Life, hit me up on Twitter, and I'll I don't know if I'm following you back or not. Just hit me up on Twitter, do a tweet, because we're at Disabled Disney for everything. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, everything's at Disabled Disney.
Except for TikTok, it's Disabled Disney 84.
But yeah, everything's Disabled Disney. So if you hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever.
All right.
And then I'm the one that does all of our social media. So if you're dealing with anybody on social media, it's most likely me.
All right. So thanks for being on. Really appreciate it. I think Heaven found out a lot. I don't know if before we go, is there anything else you want to know about maybe Disney World we could help you out with, or?
I have a plan of attack, and hopefully it works out.
I tell you what, the first thing is you have a plan.
That's a good thing. A lot of people go without one.
I know if Margie would still be on here, one thing that she would tell you is, I asked you if you ever looked at a book. One book that she goes by is Burn Bombs.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Yeah, and she swears by that.
I don't.
You guys mentioned the place where the mint julep is where you guys said you get your beignets.
Yep.
I'm gonna mention to you. Oh my gosh, now I can't think of it. What is it called? The place Sleepy Hollow.
Right.
They've got the waffles. They do like the waffle.
Just watching DFB Guide, and they were talking.
Is that the one with the Nutella and the fruit in it?
Yes, they have that. They have the chicken waffles. So definitely get those.
But yeah, we do Mickey beignets at the Mint Julep Bar. It's the only place to get them. Go to Tropical Hideaway, get a loaded Dole Whip. It's Dole Whip, and then it has Pocky Sticks in it and candied.
Oh wow!
I saw that picture.
Get a loaded Dole. So what we do is we go to Bengal Barbecue. It's in Adventureland. We go to Bengal Barbecue and we'll get a couple of skewers.
Get the skewers.
We get
the chicken skewers and
What's it called?
bacon wrapped one.
the bacon wrapped asparagus. We get chicken. We get the beef, and then we go to Tropical Hideaway and get the loaded Dole Whip and a couple of the bao buns, and then we go sit down and eat.
What's the place to get the skewers called?
The Tropical Hideaway.
They're in Adventureland. The Tropical Hideaway is right next to the Tiki Room.
Yeah, if you walk around the Tiki Room to the left, it'll be right there on your left.
And then, so
You'll be
past
staring at
the
the
Dole
Jungle
Whip
Cruise.
stand, so everybody's still going to the Dole Whip stand, past the Dole Whip stand, past the Tiki Room, and around the corner is Tropical Hideaway. And
It's
then,
right next to the exit for Jungle Cruise.
Right.
Okay.
It's called
Aladdin's Oasis.
Yeah, Aladdin's
Oasis.
Oasis. And then Bengal Barbecue is right across the way from there, and they have the skewers are the best thing.
The best way to identify the Bengal Barbecue is the sign.
Because
It's a tiger. It's a tiger holding.
Okay.
And they both have mobile order, and we do mobile order. We will we'll mobile order both. I'll go to one and send Jillian to one to pick up the one order, send him to the other one, pick up the other order.
And she'll find a table.
And I'll go find a table, and then we'll meet and
sit
we'll have
eat.
lunch.
That's perfect.
We'll go to Tropical Hideaway and I'll go to Bengal Barbecue and go pick up the stuff there.
And then I'll see where there's a table at. There is places to sit over by Bengal Barbecue and by Tropical Hideaway. I'll see which one I can find a table at. And
Most
we'll
of
go sit and
Tropical
have
Hideaway.
lunch.
But see, the Tropical Hideaway actually has one of the birds that tells like Jungle Cruise jokes.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
He's got, it's like one of the Tiki Room birds.
It's Rosita
Rosita.
from the Tiki Room.
Yeah, she's sitting up there, and it's like she's heard the Jungle Cruise jokes so much,
So
she's repeating
them to you.
That's funny.
It's so cute.
All
so,
right.
it's like she'll just like spit out stuff like, "Oh look, it's the backside of water."
She is. She's really cute. So we do like sitting over by Tropical Hideaway because of Rosita.
Oh, wow. All right. So, like I said, I want to thank you guys again for coming on. It's been fun.
Thank you.
So, if anybody's watching replay or anybody's still in the chat, please go and subscribe to Disabled Disney. And don't forget Rachel Loves Disney, who is also our partner channel. And, don't forget, give a like. And if you're watching replay, give a comment. But, yeah, that's going to do it for now. And we'll see y'all soon.
Thanks.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye. Chat and watching.